players and start the opening statement.
Okay, to my right became the beast tonight in the fourth quarter, Melyia Grayson. Yay! To my left was our leader tonight and showed competitive spirit and competed and led this team to a victory, Domonique Davis. Yay! What a basketball game. To score 31 points in the fourth quarter. If you would have asked me that before it ever happened, I said, you're crazy. We hadn't scored 31 in a quarter yet. Not many times in a half. And, but I will tell you, I think there's a couple of words to remember this group by. Number one, they were relentless. And we've talked about being relentless. You know, the greatest thing about tonight is even when we got down, we continued to fight. So it was like, you know, you got punched in the mouth, you hop right back up and you continued to fight. You didn't have people holding their heads down. You know, they just were ready to compete, and I thought they were very relentless. I think the second thing, they played with a lot of courage. I mean, you get down 12 points. I mean, you get the game tied, and then bang, they back up 12. You know, there's a lot. I mean, you can do a lot of things. I mean, you can hold your head down a long time, but they did not. And on behalf of my staff and all, I can't say enough of how proud that I am of them. Our coaches tried to put them in positions, but I'm gonna tell you, we don't make a basket, we don't play defense. This team made that game happen.
Questions?
Melyia, what happened in the fourth quarter for you? Did something open up, or was there a mindset change for you? What happened?
I'll say for me, you know, just wanting to play the game for my teammates and do everything that's going to help us to come out and get the win to be able to continue on in the tournament. But I think it's just me just wanting to compete and play the game as long as I can.
I guess this goes for all three of you. I mean, how do you keep responding with, you know, losing as many players as you did, only having 7 players starting and then only starting in on the bench and then going down early in the game? How do you keep responding?
Well, I think that's where relentless comes in, and the fight that they have within them. And you know, they're the spectacular 7 or whatever we want to call them. But you know what? They jumped in the circle with 2 feet, and I think that says a lot of them as individuals. I want to compete. I want to play for the name of the jersey on my front, not on my back. And we're going to compete, and we're going to compete to win. And I think that's exactly what they did.
Yeah, I agree with Coach. We definitely, when we came into this game, even to the practice to get ready for this game, we hadn't played basketball for a week. None of us had. So I think that just speaks on how much we love the game and we wanted to fight for each other, for our coaches, and for the university to continue to play. And I know for me just to put this jersey on one more time, so I really do appreciate my teammates for their fight.
Joy, can you speak on the players who are unavailable? Are they in the transfer portal, or what just is this?
It's the portal.
Okay.
It's the transfer portal. You know, it is what it is. The transfer portal opened on Monday. So you had to know who's going to be with you and who's not, because you got to be on the phone Monday morning. And, you know, that's why they did not host the WBI, you know, they didn't have enough teams to even fill it. That's how crazy the transfer portal is. That you have a whole national tournament that is canceled because teams don't have enough players to compete. You had people that dropped out of the WBIT because they didn't have enough players to compete. So, I mean, it's a national deal, and it's crazy. The NCAA's got to get some type of control under it.
Well, when did you find out that you would only have 7 players available? Was it on Monday or?
No, last week. We had a conversation with them last week.
Do you feel like that gave you, and especially you as players, do you feel like that gave y'all extra motivation heading into this game?
I think we just, regardless of who we had and who we didn't have, we were gonna play hard regardless. That's just, you know, the culture here. Once you put that jersey on, you're gonna work hard all 40 minutes. So I think regardless of the numbers we had, we went out there with 5. We went out there with 5. You know what I'm saying? But that just goes to show who coach is, and that shows what type of players we have here.
Don, can you kind of speak on Melyia in the fourth quarter? I mean, she kind of did a little bit of everything, it seemed like.
Oh yeah, they still trying to figure out how to stop her. But Melylia's great, you know. Melyia, she's our big teddy bear. But once you hit that button, it's over with. You know what I'm saying? She can't. Not a lot of people can go toe to toe with her. And when she decides to really go and show people who she are as a basketball player, as a person, she's great. You know, she's dominant, as you can see, 22 and 16. That's not easy. You know, anybody who thinks they can get there, I want to see them try. And I think a lot of that came in the fourth quarter. So I mean. That's what, you know, got us going. When you see somebody, like I joked with y'all before, it looked like she was finna dunk one of those. You know, it gets me hype. It gets our teammates hype as well. And that just speaks to the work that she puts in every day, you know, because they go against dudes down there in the post, and I don't want no parts.
How much did you guys feed off the crowd, especially in the fourth quarter when the
You
momentum
know,
was
and
kind of...
that fourth quarter, you know, when we started, and I jumped in our press and we started making that comeback, I mean, you could just feel it in your skin, the crowd. They were loud, they were standing, they were vocal, and I never hear what the crowd says. I have no idea. It's like somebody asked me, did you hear me yelling at you across the floor? No, I'm sorry to hurt your feelings, but I didn't even know you was sitting over there. But our fans were huge. That's why it's gotta be 2K Saturday. We got to get 2,000 people in here Saturday to be able to help us. Because I'm going to tell you, we would not have won if we didn't have the energy when we were exhausted, tired. Now, the only thing is I didn't know Dawn was telling me she was cramping. I couldn't tell what she was saying because it was so loud. And then she's getting her body, and what is going on? They said she's cramping. But you know what? I'll take that any day. I'll take that any day. I mean, we're very blessed to have them. You know, I saw people that hadn't even been at a women's game as I was headed out the tunnel. That's amazing. That is amazing. And so we got to make this thing 2K Saturday.
Yeah, definitely. The crowd is definitely our sixth. That's our sixth man right now, right there. You know, and we appreciate. You know, DJ Cujo came through, brought the energy, and they love the crowd fed off, and we fed off of that as well. You know, when they got loud, it makes us as players dig down deeper. You have people there for you, took time out of their day, out of their schedule to come and watch you play and continue to cheer you on. That pushes us. We don't want y'all to leave like, dang, that's love. We want y'all to be just as excited as us walking into the locker room with a win.
Coach, I mean, what was the adjustment you had to make when you guys are down? I think you were down by 13 in that first half. I mean, what was happening?
Well, we were in man because we thought we had to guard a man. And then Melylia's girl that also shoots the three, they hadn't shot many all year, decided she's going to start shooting them. And so there's no way that we could get Melyia out on the perimeter. And so what happened was it put us in scramble situations. And so then we had to go to our matchup zone, and that's how we made the comeback. Because again, they were a little more stagnant in the matchup zone. And in the matchup zone, you have to do a lot of talking. Because you're going to have loaded sides where sometimes you have two people on the side, sometimes you have one on the side, sometimes they put three on the side, and it's all different bumps. And that's what got us back in the game to come in at halftime, was that matchup zone. We knew we were going to press it sometime, but with limited number of players, you don't want to wear them out too early. So again, I think in that third quarter, they came out. We go to the 4 press again. We make a comeback. They go back again. I'm like, if we can ever get the lead, we will win. Because they could tie it up. We'll never get the lead, we will win. And I just think then our pressure got after them in that fourth quarter, and I think it just kind of wore them down. Because they got some of the same shots, but a lot of them were missed shots. And so I think that our team did a great job of being able to cause some confusion for them. So then again, we could get back. We went back, man, a couple of different possessions just to change up the rhythm of the game. But we got back to that 55 defense as quick as possible because it was honestly our success.
Joy, if my math is right, tonight was your 999th career game, so now you get 1,000 on Saturday, is that right?
Well, that's what Jason told me. And the first thing I thought of is I'm old. Okay? I'm old. But I will tell you, God has blessed me. I would not be where I am if it wasn't for him and his guidance and direction and the faith that I have in him. Because, through a life in general, you have challenges and you have to have faith to be able to get through it. And, I'm just very thankful that he has allowed me to coach, that he gave me this opportunity. And hopefully I've made some impacts somewhere along the line. But I'm very grateful for that. I will also say that, I don't pay attention to those numbers. I really don't. If Jason and Max would never tell me, I would never know. Just because that's not important to me. These people are important. They're the ones that make it happen. But I do think it is truly a blessing.
Can you speak on Miss Murray State, just if you know anything about them?
Well, they score a lot of points. They score a lot of points and they play fast. They're going to have a little bit more traditional, where they have a post player rather than total 5 out. They do shoot the 3 ball a lot. But again, they will have a post player that Melyia did a little better for Melyia to guard. But they just play really, really fast. Really fast. Up and down. Press, run, they're rolling.
One more question for the group.
Dom, I'll ask you what I asked Frank Gore Jr. at his senior day. Everyone has talked about what you mean to Southern Miss, but what does Southern Miss mean to you?
Man, Southern Miss, it means the world to me. I came here 3 years ago, not really knowing who I was as a basketball player anymore. But when I came here, the team we had then and the coaching staff and just the community here, they took me in and made me enjoy the game again, made me want to just be hungry again. And Coach, she pushed me every day. Trust me, I didn't get a day off when I first got here. But it means a lot. The community here, the fans of Southern Miss, y'all constantly coming to games and watching, that means so much to me that when I do take this next step outside of college, I always want to come back and visit just to see where it is. Then, like Coach said, I came here because I wanted to make a difference. I wanted to be that type of player again. So leaving here, I think I'm proud, and I hope Southern Miss is proud of me and they love me just as much as I love them.
All right, thank you guys.